What up, party people? All right. So we got Raven's makeup video out of the way. So now I can do my freaking tarot readings, something that I'm at least decent at. Okay. You see me messing with my eyeballs, it's because a freaking makeup is like bothering me already, just because it's sitting on my face. All right, so let me just separate my decks. A couple. So I'm gonna use Oracle first, and then we'll go from there. I hope everybody is doing well. Oh, shit, I was supposed to do this for my Marijuana, wasn't I? I forgot. Okay. Oh well. I'm not going and switching. All right. Let's see what we got. Hello, hello. All right. We got people that are feeling like uncertainty, choosing, but you get to choose who you will become. But you're feeling uncertain on who you would like to be. Maybe not sure. It's not for me to decide. But leading the way, show others how it's done. You can just help by leading by example. You know, I feel like we're gonna keep repeating the same shit over. So anyway, hey Amanda, sorry, my husband's trying to call me. I'll have to send him a text that I'm on a live, but whatever. All right, let's see. We also have curious and curiouser. So discovery, inquiry, weirdness, and curiosity. So what that means to me is people are curious about you, about the way you lead by example. What's your secret? How do you do that? Blah blah blah. Something along those lines. So I wonder if that makes some feel nervous because people are like just intrigued or interested, and they're like, "Ooh, tell me more," you know. But that's why I always say about waving your freak flag, so people can see, you know, like the real you, how you really operate, how brightly you shine, something like that, you know. Investigate. So what are you looking closely at? Are you asking the right kind of questions? Not to anybody else, but before, you know, just to yourself. It's like think before acting. Right, Amanda, this doesn't necessarily mean this is definitely for you. You are not boring. Look, I'm boring, okay? You see, I don't even do my makeup. My freaking 20-year-old, almost 21-year-old has to school me on how to do my makeup, you know? But it's deeper than that. It's more of, it's just like, you know, stuff, you know? Maybe you had to go through some not so great experiences when you were, you know, younger in your teenage years or whatever, for you to become so relatable. And people are just like, well, how do you live this great lifestyle that you have now? How are you so, you know, confident when you come from whomever, you know, a situation and environment, but yet you are up here and others are like down here? That's what it really is. They just want to know how you got out of that rut in a sense. But you are certainly not boring at all. I bet you I can name a couple things, but you know, you're not boring. We all think that we're boring, but we're really not, you know. We're actually very intriguing and interesting individuals, you know. Gotcha. So yeah, so you know, you're probably living a decent lifestyle, you know. You run a business and you're a stay-at-home mom, you know, things like that. You live comfortably, and people are probably like, how did you do that? And then you overcame cancer. That's like a big deal. So I bet it's that you one of the reasons is that you look at your situation and you're like, you know, I might be boring, but I am pretty fucking amazing. Like, I have overcome cancer, I've overcome, you know, abuse, tragedy, trauma, whatever, that made you realize just how awesome of a life that you really do have, even though it's boring. And it's not that us boring people go look for drama. It's just contrast, and it's not necessarily our contrast, but we get involved in it, and people are just like, you know, I don't know. And maybe, Amanda, the problem could be is that you don't think of yourself as your awesomeness and powerfulness that you are. You know what I mean? And yes, and that's how I looked at it too. It's just something that you had to do, but it's not like that. It's really not. It's deeper. I can't really explain that to you. It's more of a knowing. So, you know, I say I'm boring, I'm uninteresting, but I'm not. I'm really not, but I am, but I'm not, you know, into comparison to some things and people and situations. But that's none of my business, so that's why I don't really, you know. So you're smart. Okay, so law is not justice, rules that are not fair. So it goes back to not conforming, not listening to others just because they want you to, because that's not how it goes, something like that. Okay? All right, let's use these oracles, see what's going on. And remember, if it doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you. But if it does resonate, or, you know, if other people, what happens is it's called piggybacking. You will, one person might hear just something from it, and you might be like, oh man, that sounds just like my experience or whatever. That's because it is for them. And then someone else might only get whatever from it and can take it, you know, and run with it from there. So it's piggybacking. Can't explain that either. It's just how it works, you know, collective consciousness, basically. But if anybody wants a free reading, you guys know how to get a hold of me. I have like that Facebook pay thing. So, all right. So in a reversal, glamour, intrigue, and drama. Somebody, in a sense, is feeling like they are not glamorous. They are not intriguing. And Amanda, I hate to say this, but I think this one is for you. And no, there is no drama, but we create contrast so we're not bored. So that's where we help others when they come to us. We don't assert it into their reality. They come to us because they just know that we have valuable guidance or, you know, interesting philosophies or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Love is strange. You will attract. You have no idea. All right. Why don't you PM me then later? I have to do someone else's that I haven't gotten out there yet, but I will be. I built a headboard yesterday for my king size bed, so you know I lost my whole day there. But anyway, my juices were like, I was getting all these great ideas from the divine. Anyway, see Beacon Fairy guidance. Beware, but where will it lead you? So what is your inner self, your higher being, your inner being? The divine, what are they leading you to? Are you trying to find new self-discovery? Is it a new passion, a new hobby? Somebody is looking for new ways to not necessarily make money, but just do something with their time, you know, instead of sitting around. I had one fall on the floor, but I don't really think it's anything other than fearless. So, you know, you're not fearful of what others think of you, so kudos to you. And it's time to be brave. It's time to wave that freak flag, get that story out there, get those juices flowing to ignite passion and inspiration in others. So, you know, it's just putting yourself out there, it's not giving a crap what others think about you, waving that freak flag, shining your bright LED strip that you are, instead of just being another blah individual, you know, and just rolling with it. Calm and chaos. So you are fine. You are calm amidst calmness and chaos. And again, that leads right back to that's why people seek your guidance, your counsel, your whatever, you know, something like that. That's how that works. All right, I'm going to use the playing cards. Excuse me. Let's see. My freaking eyes bother me from that makeup. It's not like smearing, but I was like, I just want to like take a tissue to and freaking wipe it off. Anyway, hey Goldie. All right, let's see. All right, yeah. So we have the 4 of spades, 9 of clubs, and a queen of hearts. So we have you giving a lot of emotional support to someone or something. You gain this wisdom and knowledge through learning curves. You are determined to finish whatever it is that you start, whatever project, whatever workload, caseload, whatever it may be. You no longer give thoughts and ideas to negativity. You are all about the structure and stability, thinking for yourself and only yourself, unless someone comes to you, and then you offer that knowledge that they are seeking. But it's maybe before someone, you know, defied you or there was deception and things like that, but you no longer really pay attention to that because that was the past and this is the present. So it's just getting over all that old bullshit and coming to the new you, the bright you, the real you, something like that. It doesn't really matter. The grand support, you are cutting out and cutting off dysfunctional people, dysfunctional scenarios, situations that don't work for you. And I know this to be true because I got goosebumps all over like a mother. You know, it's just getting rid of that negative cycle, building after that foundation crumbled, it's starting anew. And again, I noticed the trend here. It's happening to a lot of people. So I'll get weird messages about stuff like that, you know. But it's all about the new you. This pandemic that, like I keep saying for months now, like 6 months or 5 months, however long it's been, that this is a way for the universe to remind us of what we want, what we don't want, just that defining the details of our life. No more sloppy thinking. It's just getting ahead of the game, you know. It's that realization type thing. All right, again, the reason why you overcame all of this is because you were unhappy. You were feeling like you were attracting a lot of unwanted, unneeded stuff. You felt like others were disappointed in you, but really it wasn't. It was you being disappointed in yourself. So therefore, then you attract the naysayers and the people that, you know, are uncertain about themselves. So, you know, so what you attract, so if you're putting that out there and it's in your vibration that I'm this great grand person, then that's what you attract from others, or that's what you see around you. But if you're this, I'm feeling disappointed in myself, I got this victim mentality, then that's all you're going to see around you are victims, people playing the victims, and eventually someone's going to be like, why do I keep seeing all this stuff? And it's like, oh, that makes sense. So I believe that's what the universe has set in motion for this pandemic, is just getting people to stop sloppy thinking. And if you like that job, if it's time to move on from that situation, you know, being stuck with your partner in the house all the time, you know, maybe if it's not working, that's because it's not supposed to work. And you guys got to get rid of each other one way or the other, you know, if you can't find that common ground. So, but yeah, it's all about the way people are looking at things, overcoming from the past, you know. But somebody learned through trials and tribulations that that's not how they wanted it, so they changed it, and they were in charge of that change. So right now what's going on, again, we got the foundation that crumbled to build anew, to start anew. Who wants to build on unstable foundations? You can't. It won't happen. It doesn't matter if you put, you know, steel columns up and stuff. It's still that ground, because your foundation isn't sturdy, it's not going to stay. So the first thing that happens, it crumbles again. So it's like, why not just rip that fucking shit down and be done with it, you know, and move on. But there's no longer, it's very fast paced. Some people aren't used to the vibing so high. So it's like fast. And in a sense, it might be a little overwhelming for them or to them. But once you get into that stream, you too can just go with the flow. And it's a lot easier. You don't feel that overwhelmment and things like that. We're into the emotions. Someone is showing, or in the past felt lonely, sad. They were feeling like they were deceived by somebody, but really you were only deceiving yourself. You were in denial. This person has been the same since they were when you first got together, but it's like we are in denial. And there's nothing wrong with overseeing somebody's flaws. It's not really like that. It's about you know, people treating you a certain kind of way. Hey, Uncle Gary, it's something like that, because that's what's stuck in your craw. That's what's got your goat. They were pushing your buttons, you know, so. But not anymore. That loss or that sadness, that depression helped you to further define what you really wanted. You have clarity now. You can foresee what the big picture. You know, there's no longer these sheep's, you know, wolves in sheep clothing type things. It's like you now can see it for what it really is, and that's really the important thing. And again, that's because somebody was looking forward to changing the direction. Again, goes back to the pandemic. This is like long overdue type stuff. We have been waiting to change. We just didn't really know how. So it's like someone had to fucking shake us and be like, hey, here's your chance. Here's your chance to either figure out this is what you want or this is what you don't want. You're either going to stay or you're going to go. You're either going to build or you're not going to build. And that's just how it goes. So splitting up and moving on, having that change of direction. You know, we stay with these people or spouses, jobs, and whatever because we feel as if we will hurt their feelings or, you know, something like that. But it really just hurts us and it bogs us down. So once you just release all that, you know, stuff, then it's like, I'm good. I'm golden. I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. I'm free. I'm free. So kudos to y'all, you know, it's overcoming. And the people that haven't quite got there, they might stumble upon this video and they'll be like, oh my God, you know what? Maybe she's right. And that's just how it works. So others will start coming around to the idea, the new concepts of changing directions in yourself first. And once that self-epiphany, self-realization happens and you have your aha moment, and then it's like, shit, you just start getting nothing but the greatest of the greats, the abundance of love and joy and money and freedom and everything that you thought you've always ever wanted. You get it, you know, because you finally let that go, that baggage, that person, that mindset, that belief. It's just, it's gone. It's no longer there. Lots of kudos to y'all. All right, and one more. We have spades. We had the conflicts, but it was more of an inner conflict. You detached from that, from yourself, from the bad choices, decisions that weren't really bad. They were just life experiences. You have to know what you don't want in order to know what you do want. How do you know what's a healthy relationship if you've only ever experienced abuse, you know, something like that? You don't know until you try it from the other side, you know. So getting with someone that'll show you the light, even if it is only for a week or two, and they show you that unconditional love, like you would show a family member or your kids or something. When someone can show you that, it's because you opened up to that and that's what you're ready for. It might not be that individual, but it'll be others that are around you that are involved in third-party situations that will give you that clarity or make you discover the clarity about, wow, I really am awesome, and I deserve so much more than I think I do, because that is what, you know, my mom or my aunt or my grandma or grandpa or whatever their belief about me was. But, you know, the older generations or whatever, a lot of them, now I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are still stuck in that old mindset that people don't change, things don't change. And it's not really like that. But, you know, a lot of, you know, I would say people in their 50s and 60s and some 70s, they're actually doing, you know, really well now because they're not stuck in that freaking old mindset shit, you know. But let's break out the real tarot cards right now. All right, so we got people that were in their feelings but no longer in their feelings. So let's see. Hey, Frank, Nicole. See what's going on, party peeps. All right, so somebody's feeling stabbed in the back, beaten down. They're feeling exhausted. They are feeling like somebody betrayed them, but they're actually obsessing over these issues. They don't want to let it go. They could. Maybe it happened a year or two ago, but they're still obsessing over it. It's like the sun is setting. It was so hard. Woe is me. How do I get over it? I can't. They did me wrong. You're doing yourself wrong. People make mistakes. You know, if your partner fucking cheats on you, right? Just think of it like this. Just say your partner cheats on you, okay? But when they did that, they figured out that it wasn't really about, hello, son. It wasn't really about their spouse that made them feel like that. It was about them making them feel like that. So they're like, oh my God, that makes sense. So, you know, maybe they do love me. They just, you know, maybe we're not communicating appropriately. Things like that. So it's like seeing the big picture, no longer being stuck in your surroundings like that because you were broken down. You were unwilling to get out of that denial. Maybe you knew something was going on, but you just chose not to see it. And that's okay too. But it's like eventually you're going to be shaken up enough to where people are like, oh, okay, I better stop doing that or feeling like that about this person or this situation because I'm going to keep getting more and more and more and more and more of it because we create our own reality. Okay. Pentacles. So, are you mutually investing with someone? Someone's getting money out of something, maybe because they're using their guidance and they're counseling others. Someone's paying them, but they're like, it's the generosity, it's the giving and taking. They are able to receive it, they are able to give it. But you first got to feel like you are worthy of that in order to get any of those things, you know? So I don't know if someone gave you money or they lent you money, but it has to do with investments, whether it be investments of yourself or in others. Somebody is showing you that you are worthy. Yeah, so you left behind the feeling of defeat, of loss. It's like you accept that you screwed up, or someone around you and a third party screwed up, and it's like, now that we know, we can go up from here. We don't have to make that same mistake. It's not a mistake, it's a life experience. It was just something to define what you want versus what you don't want. Then we have you being patient and evaluating situations or circumstances, or maybe someone is evaluating you at work. Maybe that's how you were able to get this loan or this money or this investment. Someone invested in you. That's because you took the time to meditate. You took the time to understand your feelings and your emotional guidance system. It all goes back to the defining of what we want. It's understanding that things are always and forever moving, and we get to decide whether it's moving in a good way or in a bad way. So it's like, just because you fell off your high horse doesn't mean that you can't get back on and ride again. You know, you might even fucking go saddle free and ride that shit bareback. You never know. So yeah, and again, so you had to take time to evaluate by going through the problems, feeling misery and miserable, feeling bitter and dramatic towards others and the situation. Or maybe someone felt like this to you. Maybe you did this to others without really knowing what you were doing, but now you know what you did, so you're like, I don't want to do that. So apologize to yourself. It's all about the pride and ego of someone feeling like this. You're not a bad person. It's things are going to change, and if you think it's really bad, it's not. It could be a lot worse. You know, if you can soothe yourself in a sense like that, like, you know, maybe at a DUI and you got caught and now you have a massive fine or something. You know, you could have just been like, I could have killed somebody or I could have died, but it didn't even go to that. You know, it's like, fuck, I got a DUI, now I better get some counseling. You know, something along those lines, and now it's a time for change. You know, you don't smoke pot instead of drinking, something like that. You realize that you don't really need it. You're just doing it to pacify yourself. Maybe you're not a self-soother, but you're learning how to do it. I would use self-realization cards, and I have a journal that helps people to get out that icky stuff out of their vibration, their frequency. All right, so it's like some kind of delay must have happened. You felt as if it was bad, but it was like very fast. You thought like you were like so close, like this close to getting to what you wanted, but then there was this big ass halt. Because you probably second guessed yourself more than likely. You were wobbling in that choice that you thought that you were making. But that's all it is. It was just the universe. The universe will never tell us what we want to know. They tell us what we need to know. And how fun would it be if someone's just like, here's your path, take it and go this way. You wouldn't be ready for that. So it's like getting ready to get ready to be ready to be ready, and then bam, there it is. You know, it's just letting that shit go and just like, oh, that had to happen for this to happen. Delays happen. You had a flat tire because you weren't supposed to go to the doctors because, you know, whatever. And then here you end up going and doing your other stuff, and then you find out, oh, you know, I met this great person, and, you know, for whatever reason, you struck up a friendship. So all these delays and stuff happen for a reason, but you're the one that has to meditate on that, because it could be millions of different scenarios. I mean, we're working with fucking universal energy, so it could be millions upon millions of different things, you know? Hey, Amy. Are you questioning someone or someone questioning you about your feedback and vice versa? It's like there's reports, reviews, interviews, just a lot of feedback, a lot of communication, brief communications, probably through like text messages or like private messages, just really small. It's like fact, it's like shocking type stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are communicating via social media and stuff's going on. All right. Then we have the High Priestess, another major arcana, big changing in events. So it's people are coming to you again, seeking that advice. not asserting it. They are just coming to you and asking you for your opinion, your belief in matters. That's when it's totally okay to tell your thoughts, your opinions, because they're coming to you because they trust you, and you might be the only person that they can trust. So, you know, just listen. Just be an active listener. Don't listen to talk. Listen just to listen, to hear, you know, and read between the lines. But they come to you because you are a psychic. You're very knowledgeable. You have heart-to-hearts. It's more like someone being a psychologist, a psychiatrist. You just know your shit, and you know, you should be confident. That's just how it goes. Always be confident in self. But yeah, this person that's coming to you, they drop something. They are focusing on something else, but more on a reputation, like a reputation. It's more of a relief type thing. Hi, Anthony. It's you're ready for matters of the heart. You're ready to excel and supersede everybody's. Hell, you're ready to supersede what you thought about yourself, really, because it's just fast-moving stream. If you're going with the flow and just receiving and the abundance, it's just like more and more and more and more and more. You're not tired. You're not lethargic. You're not sick. You're not complaining. It's just people are looking at you like, whoa, how do you do that? And that's just because that's your freaking awesomeness. It's your vibration. So kudos to you. But this is just a time now where people are going on a journey again, looking for a different experience, you know, because it's not, words don't teach, life experience teaches, and you got to go through what you don't like in order to know what you do like, you know. So that's just how it is. It's finding new people, new passions, new interest in different things, whether it be, you know, a new hobby or learning what, you know, whatever it is. It's just shaking things up. Finding the new cool stuff to do. New passions are being reinvented and revamped, and people are feeling in, you know, just to the best that they've ever felt before, and that's what it's all about. It's experiencing joy and love on an every single day basis. That's how it should be. That's what we came here for. So yeah, getting over the pain and the heartache, the loss from people stealing us or like stabbing us in our back. It's just letting go of that hurt, that anger, that frustration. You know, sometimes people just don't know because they're stuck in that vicious cycle, you know? So, all right, guys. Well, if you should want a reading, you know how to get a hold of me. Don't forget to like my videos, share them. And that's really it. That's all I got. Deuces, y'all.